me get myself some more sun. Let's liven up the place a little bit. Good morning. Oh, do I need to? I do need to do that. Hold on. Oh, there we go. Let's raise the screen level. Let's bring it up. That's so much better. Okay. Happy Thursday. Hey, no name. Good morning, peoples. Good morning. I need to switch y'all around real quick. I'm trying to hold on, guys. I'm trying to fix some stuff. Get y'all leveled up properly. Hello, 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 hello. Let's get these hearts pumping, please. Peace. Yeah. I'm trying to keep peace, man. Good morning, Angie. Hi, Linda. Hey, doll baby. Good morning, Quinn. Good morning in YouTube land. Hey, Kimberly. Hope everybody's doing well. Hi, Steven. Good morning. Hey, Paula. If I'm missing y'all, I see y'all. Hi, Elena. Hey, Steven. Oh, I said Steven. Hi, Anita. Good morning, peoples. Let's talk about it. Yes, we about to break some shit down. Lord Vampire King, you don't have to share the live like that, my boy. I'm good. Good morning, sweetie. Hi, Renee. Hey, Patrice. Hi, the Empress Embroidery. Nina. I don't do current events. It's not history class. Good morning, y'all. I'm trying to get these hearts up. Can we get these hearts pumping? Y'all know how it works here. All I ask is for hearts. What's the bottom of the bottle? What's at the bottom? Oh, it's like this. I got it from the shop. It's like this stuff that keeps you calm and keeps you like set. I got it from the shop. It kind of works for me because I have anxiety. So I try to drink it in the morning. And it has like some vitamins in it as well. Good morning. Hi, Peachmon. I hope I said that right. Good morning, Belzine. I hope I said that right. Yeah. All right, let's get this shit started. We already know what happened to Jimmy Kimmel. He is knocking them down. One by one, he's getting after everybody. So Jimmy Kimmel, he made some comments about Tyler Robinson. Basically, it wasn't even inflammatory. He basically said that Tyler Robinson was a far right. He was actually, indoctrinated, and that he doesn't understand why the conservative party, why the Republican Party is trying to switch it up. Okay? That's it. It was truthful comments. And he also sent his thoughts and prayers out to Charlie Kirk's family and said that no one deserves to be, taken out. And he sent his thoughts and prayers to the kids as well. So what happened and what I heard this morning was, baby, ABC News, when they saw Trump's tweet, they had a meeting. They knew Jimmy Kimmel did not say anything wrong. They knew that shit. They knew it. But they still canceled the show indefinitely because they were afraid of Trump's retaliation. Everybody is caving. And what I'm going to say to y'all now is to drop your Hulu subscription, drop your Disney subscription, anything that has to do with Sinclair or ABC, get rid of it. If they're going to cut people's freedom of speech off, then they need to let it go. Everybody needs to drop their shit. If they want to cut off our freedom of speech, then we need to stop supporting these companies. Anybody that gets fired from a company for having freedom of speech, stop doing business with them. We broke any damn way. We ain't got the money anyway. We don't have the shit. We ain't got the funds. There's more people unemployed than there are jobs. So drop the subscriptions. Go get you a fire stick, have that shit broken into, and live your best life. But no, get rid of it. Because that's bullshit. He's also going after Jimmy Fallon. And I think, what is his other name? He wants Jimmy Fallon and the other host, late night host. I can't remember his name. But he's going after everybody. Freedom of speech no longer is freedom of speech. And I was surprised to even hear, what's his name, talk about freedom of speech. Like, Ted Cruz said the First Amendment absolutely protects speech. It protects vile speech. It protects horrible speech. What does that mean? It means you cannot be prosecuted for speech. Got Stephen Colbert, Seth Meyers. I think it's Seth Meyers. For me to hear that from Ted Cruz, that Ted Cruz is even saying people should be prosecuted. Who else said that shit that I was surprised to hear that from? What's his name? The one that left Fox News? Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson called out the Trump's team for using Charlie Kirk's unaliving to justify attacks on free speech. To justify attacks on free speech. He even called them out. Everybody knows what the fuck is going on is wrong. We all know that. We all know that, because let's just make sure I'm getting this right. Who said cancel culture was over? We don't do cancel culture. We don't cancel people for freedom of speech. We don't go after people for freedom of speech. Who said that? I could have sworn they wasn't wearing blue. I could have sworn they weren't wearing blue. So my thing is, if you are going to set the tone and saying everybody has a right to speak, but now when people are speaking against you and yours, now it's a problem and everybody's being prosecuted for the freedom of their own voices, then baby, we have a problem. We have a huge problem. And we know that a lot of this is just to censor people. This is part of fascism. We are there. This is a part like what's her name? Stacey Abrams said there are like 10 steps to fascism. We're there. We are definitely there. And I wanted to get into that as well with y'all, but I'm going to go through the news and then we're going to talk about that little tidbit. I'm going to go through it because let me make something very clear. Jimmy Kimmel Stephen Colbert lost his show. Jimmy Kimmel will lose his show if he does not do a public apology and donate to Turning Point. When that woman is worth $12 million and she just raised $4 million. So what if she need all that money? Why she need more money? Why? She could actually go to a whole nother little island, retire, and move the fuck on. But someone said, what did they call her? They called her a honeypot. Charlie Kirk's wife was a honeypot. I don't know what that means, but it basically means like she was smarter, older than him, well more established, had more money, had businesses, and she worked with Trump's administration at some point in time. She was also a model and a basketball player, and she guided him to where he needed to be. Something like that. I saw a white girl saying it. I cannot remember this girl's name because I've never heard that before. I've never heard of honeypot. I didn't even know what that meant. But basically, she was the one keeping him on track. Please don't tell me what we need to do in my live, Lily. Don't tell me what I need to do. I've already talked about Nepal several times, sweetheart. We got shit going on right here. Do not tell me how to run my live. That's just it. That's not what a honeypot is. I don't know what the fucking word is, but you know what I mean. Hey, Declan, y'all know what the hell I mean. On top of that, they want him to apologize and they want him to donate money. I don't think Jimmy's going to do either or. What is going to end up happening is all these major news stations and broadcasting stations, they're going to lose those voices, and those voices are going to start just spitting directly from the left. They're no longer going to be neutral. It's shots fired. There's no longer going to be a neutral, because in all honesty, Stephen Colbert and Jimmy Kimmel, they're comedians. They make light of every situation. That's what they do. They make light of every situation. Risa, you don't have to let him keep talking. He's running up my algorithm. Um, they're gonna start speaking and they're gonna start using their voices as they want to. And when they become independent, we're gonna see more of Don Lemon. We're gonna see more of Joy Reid. We're gonna see more of Tucker Carlson. Because even when Tucker left Fox News, his shit changed. When Candace left, her shit changed. Their voices started changing. I ain't never heard Charlie Kirk. I mean, not Charlie Kirk. Tucker Carlson talk the way he's talked. I've never heard this man actually align. I've never agreed with this man until after he left Fox News. Like a light opened and they were no longer under control. And they didn't have to pander to an audience to make them feel, right of what was going on. So if Jimmy leaves, that's another person they're going to have to worry about come midterms. When you silence people's voices on networks, they're going to find another place to speak. And that place is going to take every last person that followed them and went to their shows right to their shit. Right to their shit. And you're going to have more and more people speaking independently than under a cast of rules. It's going to change. And I hope that Jimmy Kimmel does not follow through, because he did not say anything wrong. He didn't even say anything disrespectful. He spoke his opinion and he kept it moving. And he was saying the same shit that everybody was already saying. He was already saying shit that everybody was already saying. And let me put this out there. When that Fox News host got on live television and said that homeless people with mental disabilities should be all he had to do was fucking apologize. All he had to do was apologize. That's all he had to do was apologize. And he kept his job. And he should have been taken off the air. He should have been taken off the air because not a couple of days later, I don't know if y'all putting two to two together, 2 mass pew-pewings happened in homeless encampments. 13 people were hurt. Words have meaning. Words have power. He didn't even lose his job for saying that. And then we had 2 mass pew-pewings in the same day in homeless encampments. Y'all don't think people are listening to this shit? They're listening. They hear this shit and they take it to heart. And if they are not stable themselves, they will act on it. And y'all don't think that man on Fox News deserved to lose his job? He should have been gone. There should have been no talks about it. He shouldn't even have been able to give an apology. He should have been fired. But no, he's a part of Fox News. He can't get fired. He can do a little apology. We're going to pat him on his back and we're going to keep it moving. But Jimmy Kimmel says one sentence. Tyler Robinson was obviously a far-right person who was indoctrinated online. And we don't understand why the Republican Party is trying to mix it up. That is basically what he said. Tell me where that harmed anybody. Tell me if that's not the same language that the right has been pushing since Charlie Kirk has been assassinated. I'm asking. Tell me, is that not the same rhetoric that the right has been pushing? Jimmy didn't get himself fired. Jimmy spoke the truth. Jimmy used his freedom of speech to speak. And therefore, if you're not speaking in the way that the right wants you to speak, they're going to try to silence you. So yes, we are boycotting Hulu. We are boycotting Disney. We are boycotting ABC. Take them fucking subscriptions off your phones, off your TVs. It's time to let them go. Y'all can find another place for your kids to watch a movie. Disney done went down any damn way. It ain't been the same since I was a teenager. It ain't been the same. It is time to start letting them know that if we don't have the right to speak, then we don't support. If you don't have a right to voice your own opinions, especially if they're not harming anybody, then what's the point of serving you? What is the point of giving my money to you? I'm not giving my money to nobody. And plus, it just saved money, baby. Go to YouTube and watch the damn movies and shit. They free out there. They got a lot of free YouTube movies. I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes I be watching them. But if that Fox News host was able to keep his job and just do an apology, then Jimmy Kimmel should have been given the same option. Not fired and then want to donate. And then y'all want his pockets? Y'all want his money? Then that man on Fox News should donate money to the homeless shelters. He should donate money to the homeless shelters then. If words have actions and meaning. But they're not going to do that. They didn't even give him a slap on the wrist. They allowed him to apologize online and kept it fucking moving. And that shit right there, that ain't right. It's not. On top of that, Jerry left Ben and Jerry's because of their co-partner, their parent company. Their parent company is trying to silence Ben and Jerry for speaking their political opinions because they side with the Republican side. He left. I love me some Ben and Jerry, so I say go buy that shit up. Make sure y'all still supporting Ben and Jerry. But he left. He retired, man. Are you kidding me? Our freedom of speech is gone. It is being ripped out. On top of that, all the negative shit that has come from the Republican side, blaming everybody and their mama for what happened to Charlie Kirk. Because let me make something clear. Everybody's being blamed. You want to know what's happened since? We've had Nazi marching through cities. We've seen cake, and I'm not bullshitting with you because y'all know I'm heavily on all social media platforms. We've had KKK gatherings with their fucking hoods meeting in the public area. We've had Oxy marches. There was one at a visual for Charlie Kirk in Auburn, California. They were trying to do a visual for him, and a whole Oxy parade marched right past their asses. Of course, they were telling them to get out of there, but it doesn't matter. They're there now. Now we've got people in hoodies walking around, and I mean pointy fucking hats, rallying up together. This is what that rhetoric is saying, especially since they pulled all the information off of the DOJ saying that the biggest T groups in America are white supremacists. White supremacist T groups are the most dangerous groups in America. They pulled that information off on purpose. And now these groups are starting to ramp up. And they're not going to come after white folks. No. They're going to come after people that look like me. Georgia State had a noose found on its campus. A noose. Because they're not making it news. This is why I look for shit. Because they're not making it front page news. A noose was found on Georgia State's campus. It's not a prank, it's a threat. The Georgia NAACP demands a full investigation. And this was yesterday. This was yesterday. This was yesterday. See, the funny thing is, and it's not even funny, Black folks ain't have shit to do with what happened to Charlie Kirk. But all the hate that has risen from the unaliving of Charlie Kirk is coming at us. All the hate that is being that's rising under the surface is being aimed at black people. It's not even a joke. Nooses. Trey Reed. Our college campuses. We've got Otzies marching in the street. We've got people in their hoodies. The KKK is starting to rise again. Anytime violence starts in this country, it's never directed at white people. It is directed at people of color and black people. Because white people can't tell who's on their side and who's not on their side. And that's just real shit. Y'all cannot decide on who's on your side and who's not on your side by you looking at them. But you can see me as your enemy no matter what. And now we've got to keep our damn heads alert. And we got to stay woke. And I know white folks like to use woke in the wrong way. Woke means staying alert. That was our word. That word comes back from the 70s. Okay, y'all like to use woke to describe sympathy because y'all don't like to be sympathetic to the shit that y'all doing. And if y'all have sympathy and y'all actually look at what y'all doing and describing as woke, y'all know y'all would be in the wrong. But woke, when it was actually the real word that we created and the meaning we created, it means to watch out, to stay alert. It does not mean the left or democratic. That is a black word from black people speaking in code. Stay woke, my brother. Stay woke, my sister. That means pay attention. Shit is about to get real. For white people that like to use that in the defense of anything that is not in normality for the Republican Party. It does not mean what y'all created it to mean. It means black people pay attention. And right now, we need to wake the fuck up. I saw D.L. Hughley post, what's it called? Higher learning. What was the movie? What was the movie with Lawrence Fishburne and Tisha Campbell? And come on. When they did doing the butt. Ow, sexy. School Days, thank you. They put the part where Lawrence Fishburne is waking up the whole fucking campus and telling them to wake up. He put that part out. And at that point, that's what the fuck we are. We need to wake the fuck up. Shit is getting real. It is getting real out here. And the effects are going to come at us first. Trump has named Detroit as his next place. He has named Detroit as his next place. Are we seeing a theme here? Are we seeing a theme here? It ain't nothing but black populated cities that he's attacking. Detroit is next. Detroit is next. It's the next thing on the chopping block. Now, ever since this rhetoric has been put out against the left and the Democratic side and the liberal side and whatever, Antifa has now been named as a T group. Antifa. So they removed white supremacists as a T group and they put Antifa. Antifa is just an anti-fascist group. They don't believe in fascism. They're not on the left or the right. If they see fascism coming up, they speak. They get out there. Okay, they don't represent anybody. But you know why he did that. You know why he did that. Because he is doing exactly what they are going to fight against. And they have areas all over the United States. They may change their name, but it's still there. And there's no way of getting around it. There was just a gold statue with a Bitcoin put on the U.S. Capitol, put in the U.S. Capitol for Trump. Are we seeing a theme? And it came from a person that don't even sound like he grew up here, but he's into Bitcoin heavily. So he decided to put a fucking statue, a gold statue of Trump with a Bitcoin. That is some tacky shit. That's the tackiest shit I've ever seen. It's tackier than putting gold in the fucking White House. It is tackier than putting gold in the White House. And when that man sees that, when he comes back, oh, he's going to be living his best life. He may ask that shit to be moved into the White House. He going to ask that shit to be moved into the White House. I guarantee y'all, he like, let me hold that. Let me get that up out you, my boy. Let me hold that real quick. Now, we all know Trump is in the UK. He just left to come back. The UK gave him a great welcoming. They gave him a great welcoming. It was great for them. They had carriages and everything. And as soon as they left, as soon as Trump left, the UK announced that they would declare Palestine as a state. I know he is pissed off about that. I know he's pissed off about that. He's got to be mad. Y'all played in my face. I know he mad about that shit. Like that was a bold move by the UK. That was bold. You brought this man there. They gave him the royal treatment, and then they declared Palestine as a state. A win is a win. A win is a win, bruh. On top of that, the Pope himself, the Pope is still speaking. The Pope renews call for Gaza ceasefire, urges respect of human dignity. The Pope is speaking now. The Pope ain't playing. He's definitely not playing. He's speaking, and I don't blame him. I thank the Pope for doing that. I wish he would get up and bring his butt to Gaza. Honestly, I would love for him to get up out of the Vatican and take his butt to Gaza and sit there. We got to stop doing things from the computer anymore. I know for Black people, this is the safest way for us to speak. I get that for us. But for everybody else, that is, for white folks in general, people who don't represent people of color, it is safe for y'all to be outside. I would, if you are for everybody and their mama, get y'all asses outside and start making things shake. They think twice about fucking with y'all. If you are for freedom of speech, if you're for unity, if you're for any of that shit, y'all need to start making things shake. If the Pope got his butt up and brought his ass to Gaza and actually asked to hold a meeting with Benjamin, imagine that shit going worldwide. Imagine that shit going worldwide. Let me take a trip to talk to you in your face, my boy, so you understand what I'm saying. That is what needs to start happening. And letting everybody hear that conversation. I would love to hear that shit. And since I got 900 and some people in this one and 100 and something in the other, if you got a child that is of age to register to vote, get their asses out there and get them registered. It is time to start registering your children. Midterms are coming and they asses need to make a fucking choice. If they old enough to party and they old enough to go to college, they old enough to vote. I wish the Democratic Party had enough money to send people like me, people like James Baldwin, people like Too Raw, Too Real, Zactivist, Cole, people like us to college campuses. I wish they had that money. I'm not talking about no motherfucking Dean. No, I'm not talking about no goddamn Parker. I'm talking about real shit. Because I'm not going to use big fucking words with you. I'm going to be real with your ass. If these kids do not vote, they won't have a fucking future. If they don't vote, there won't be any jobs for them. They're going to be living at home with y'all asses for the rest of their fucking lives. Okay? There won't be anything for them. There is no future right now. There are more unemployment people than there are jobs, okay? Our deficit in America bounced from 800 and something billion dollars to 1.9 trillion dollars in the past couple of months due to Trump. And it is going to triple next year. Inflation has dropped. And you want to know why? Because we don't have any jobs. And they're trying to battle the unemployment rate that is rising in America. You think your children going to have something to graduate to go to? Nothing. You know what them college degrees are going to say? Get your ass in the field and pick fucking farm food. Go work in this factory. It's not going to be worth shit at the end of the day. Not one damn thing. And I don't care if you're on the left or the right. This is reality. Your children won't have a fucking future if they don't get their ass out there and vote so we can take midterms. I don't give a fuck what they say. Drag their asses to the goddamn poll. They won't be no Social Security for their retirement. There's not even Medicaid left. No SNAP benefits, no nothing while they on unemployment. And who say they gonna get that shit? It is time for us to start voting. And for everybody that fucked up last year during the election and you realizing that you fucked up real bad, fix that shit come midterms. You have a chance to redeem yourself. I'm opening the door. White women, talk to your white women. Latinos, talk to your Cubans and your Venezuelans and everybody else and they goddamn mama. Black women, do what we did before. Black men, do what you did before. Asians, I have no fucking hope for y'all. I'm just being honest. I have no hope for the Asian community. None. Their proximity to what they think they are is a whole different situation, and I cannot combat that shit. I ain't got no hope for that community whatsoever. They're gonna have to do their own work. I have more hope for the white women than I have for the Asian community. And that is sad. That is sad. Because where the fuck they been? They've been ducking ever since the election. They're the reason why we don't have fucking affirmative action. But hey, speaking of colleges, they lied about Trey Reed. They lied about Trey Reed. They lied and said this boy was found in his dorm. They lied to his parents. They lied. Now I'm going to debunk some shit because I've been doing some work. His bones are not broken. There are no bruises. They have not done a full autopsy yet on him. They've only looked at him surface level. So we got to stay with the fucking facts. And we're going to hold this shit down. We're going to hold people accountable. Now, I still think there's foul play. But we got to be real with this shit. And we all know that Mississippi has the largest, is the state with the most strange fruiting. And I want to know why they lied to his parents. I want to know why they lied to his parents. Because that right there shows that there's something not right. They don't want to be associated with racism. But baby, you in Mississippi. And the university is called Delta. You make that what you think you come up with your own conclusion. You come up with your own shit. But let's be real. Anything coming out of Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, Florida, Georgia, and it has something to do with a black person, North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, Tennessee, Oklahoma, we're gonna turn an eye. And you know it's kind of funny. They don't want black people to jump to conclusions when it comes to Trey Reed, but everybody got to jump to conclusions when it came to Charlie Kirk. They didn't want us to say shit. They wanted to do an open and shut case on Trey Reed. because they didn't want black folks to say anything. But everybody gets to speak. Everybody gets to have an opinion. Everybody gets to point the finger. And pointing the finger didn't help, because y'all pointed the finger at the wrong people. At the wrong people. At the wrong fucking people. And now, Trump is threatening to defund New York City, if voters elect Zohran Mamdani as mayor. I know a lot of y'all right-wing MAGA lovers don't understand how the economy works, and most of y'all are in red states. Let me let y'all know something. New York and California pays y'all bills. Y'all would be broke and destitute without New York and California. Blue states pay the bills of the United States, so red states could slum off and not do shit. I don't think how y'all think y'all doing shit, and y'all poorly educated. Y'all bottom in healthcare, bottom in education. Y'all the top in unemployment. So, if he threatens to defund New York, what's going to end up happening is that money is not going to go there. Go ahead. Have fun. Have fun with that. Do what you got to do. I'm just saying, do what you got to do. But baby, don't put that on us. He don't want to see no progress. And one thing I have learned about the Republican Party is they talk about progress, but the progress is only for white or rich. And it's not about unity. It's always about division. When you think about the Democratic Party, you think about progress. You think about elevation. You think about jobs. Because let's be real. Every time the Republican Party has been in office, what have they really done? We can never get the pay rate rose because of Republicans. That is why minimum wage sucks now. Because Republicans don't want to rise it up. They don't want that shit up. You know why we don't have affordable housing? Republicans. They vote it down every time. Anytime there's progress to be made in this country to make us better, Republicans reverse that shit. No, everybody don't deserve it. No, we could have been solved homelessness. We could have been solved homelessness. We can't do that shit with Republicans because people have to be hungry and suffering in order for them to get money in their pockets. And that is sad. We could be so much better. This country could be so much better, being that it's a melting pot. We could be so much better than the illusion of us being better. We are now one of the most unsafest countries in the world. That is sad. That is sad. And now it's about to get worse because the House has just passed a bill to lower the age from 16 to 14 to prosecute children as adults. So, we don't want to remove pew-pews and make it harder to get them. We don't want to make college free. Housing is hard. SNAP is being taken away. And with all of that environment, now y'all want to lower the rate, the age for children to be prosecuted as adults. It's like a breeding ground from prison, school to prison pipeline. Y'all get what I'm saying? They want more prisoners for their goddamn prisons. They've eliminated the education department. They're trying to make Bibles more important than math. There are no jobs left. And now y'all want to lower the age rate for children. Y'all want to lower the age rate for children. These are children. They're not even old enough to vote. They can't buy a drink. They can't open a bank account. They can't get a house. They can't even drive. And you want them to be trialed as an adult. Their frontal lobes are not even fully developed for them to understand the repercussions of what they're doing. And you want to try them as adults. And I'm going to make something very clear. White people, this is not going to be for y'all. It's going to be strictly for black and brown kids. Black kids and people of color. It is directly towards us. They are targeting us. And they're targeting our children before we even get a chance to get them together. And it is fucking annoying. It is tiring. It is so tiring. And the crazy part is, no one heard about this. And I don't think they're going to put this on blast after what happened with Charlie Kirk, which was not good. North Carolina has arrested an 18-year-old man. They're going to call him a man. I think at 18, you're still a teenager. An 18-year-old man, Michael Tedder, is behind bars after authorities say he made terrifying threats against the University of Louisville in Kentucky. Okay? The arrest went down Friday afternoon in Davie County, North Carolina, when the University of Louisville police got word that threats directed towards the campus. The nature of the threats have been will not be fully disclosed, but officials confirmed that enough was triggering to coordinate law enforcement response across the state. And yes, he was white. I don't think white people are ready to have the conversation about their children. They're worried about ours so much, but they don't want to have the conversation about their sons. They don't want to have the conversation about their sons. They're not ready to accept the fact that their sons are a danger. They are, not all of them, but there's a big group of them that are dangerous. Anybody ever seen Higher Learning? You may want to go watch it. If you don't know what I mean, go watch Higher Learning. It'll show you how these Caucasian boys are indoctrinated real quick and running off of fear. And then they retaliate in a way that the only way they know, the only way they've been taught. And you know what? I really think this is inherited. I really think this comes down their bloodline. I ain't finna bullshit with you. I really feel like that shit comes down their bloodline. They're radicalized online and etc. Speaking about radicalization, baby, I'm gonna tell you right now, if you have a Discord, a Twitch, a Steam, or Reddit, watch out. The CEOs of Twitch, Discord, Steam, Reddit are being called to testify before Congress on radicalization of their users. Yeah, baby. And this is after Charlie Kirk was unalived. This is after Charlie Kirk was unalived. Reddit is going to be cooked. Twitch, cooked. Discord, definitely cooked. Woo! They about to go through everybody's shit. They about to go through everybody's shit. Charlie Kirk's name is going to be used to codify, to suppress, to deny freedom of speech. And after freedom of speech is gone, it's going to be where you can work, where you can travel to. Do you have the right papers? Are you right color? Are you the right sex? What do you identify as? Are you on the right side of the party? Oh, you could be on the right side of the party, but you ain't the right color. Once you fuck with the First Amendment, every other amendment crashes. And last year, I keep saying this shit. Last year, y'all sat there And y'all said we were gaslighting y'all asses. Y'all sat there. And I'm saying y'all as the people that did not vote. Y'all as the right that are finally starting to see the fucking light. And the ones that are too stupid to understand that ain't my fault. May God be with you. But we sat here. And we told y'all asses what the fuck was going to happen. We did that. Stressed it to a level of my hair was starting to fall the fuck out. I was stressing this shit so bad. And y'all sat there. And y'all did what y'all did. And now everybody is suffering because y'all could not accept a black woman, a overly qualified, the most qualified person to ever run for fucking office in all the years of this country being established. And y'all fucked up because y'all could not stand that it was a woman and she was black. And now this country is going to shits. And I'm going to laugh at all the people in YouTube who are white who are laughing now because I guarantee you they don't have jobs that are going to keep them above water once next year rolls around and Trump actually implements all of his policies. Baby, I'm going to laugh. I'm going to have a good laugh. A good fucking laugh because baby, woo, that shit is about to get ugly. It's about to get really ugly. Now, there are murals of Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk murals are being defamed. They're being destroyed. I don't have a bad thought or a good thought about it. I just don't. Some of them people are being arrested. So if you decide to go ahead and destroy one of his murals, please prepare to go to handcuffs. Please make sure you have bail money. Please make sure you have bail money because you're going to go to jail. You're going to go to jail. Okay? They are arresting people left and right for destroying his murals or his tributes. So please have bail money because you're going to go to jail. Yes, and whites are the ones doing it. I mean, a black boy in Texas State University, you know, he mocked that shit and a black girl mocked that shit and they got arrested. I'm telling y'all black kids, if y'all gonna do that shit, take y'all ass to HBCU. Take your ass to HBCU. Go, stop going to universities that don't accept you. In Texas State, that's a conservative school, whether you want to realize it or not. Take your ass to a black school. Go to HBCU where you belong. At this point, I'm saying where you belong. I'm not saying where you should be or where you think you earned a spot at. Where the fuck you belong and where you gonna be safe. Because you are not safe at these white institutions, especially these PWIs. You are not safe. Not in this climate. Not right now. You need to go where your people are at so that if shit pops off, y'all can protect each other. Now it's about safety. Mm-hmm. That's what it's about now. It is about safety. Turn it off now. Hold on, y'all. Is my humidifier? Oh, man. I knew something was up. Thank you. My humidifier went off. Need air. Shit. So that part definitely needs, y'all need to make sure that y'all understand where y'all safe at. And I know a lot of y'all, I went off, I was pissed off that the Republicans are trying to propose a national Charlie Kirk Day on the same day of George Floyd's birthday. Charlie Kirk and George Floyd both have the same birthday, October 14th. Now, the reason I find it very disrespectful. Charlie Kirk can have a Remembrance Day. I don't really give a shit. Have it on the day that they took his life. That way y'all can remember that shit. But putting it on a man's birthday that he called a scumbag, that he said was not unalived by Derek Chauvin, and then he tried to advocate for Derek Chauvin to get out of jail. No. That is, I feel like they keep poking and poking and fucking poking. And I'm gonna tell y'all something right now, and this is real shit, because black folks are petty. If we don't do anything else better, we are petty as shit. Y'all put that day on George Floyd's day, y'all gonna see so much shit pop off in celebrations that y'all not gonna be able to think straight. Y'all think we celebrated George Floyd before? We gonna make that shit international. We gonna have niggas in every country celebrating that man. It is definitely gonna overshadow anything y'all celebrate for Charlie Kirk. And that is not even me being funny. That's not me being hateful. That's just real ass shit. Those two should never be put together. Just like Martin Luther King and Charlie Kirk should never be put together, because Charlie Kirk did not like Martin Luther King. And if y'all actually followed Charlie Kirk and understood what he said, he did not like Martin Luther King whatsoever. So why would y'all compare him to him? He did not even like that man. He didn't like what he stood for. He didn't like that man having a holiday. He didn't like that he helped give black people civil rights. He did not like him. He would be pissed off wherever he's looking from to know that his people and his followers are trying to compare him to him. That's just real shit. I saw another AI picture of Malcolm X and Charlie Kirk shaking hands, and he was like, "This is a good white boy right here." No, the fuck, MLK didn't like white folks. I mean, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X didn't like white folks. He did not. He believed in the black race and the black race only. Do y'all not get that shit? He was pro-black only. He did not want to come together with y'all. Malcolm X lived by the steel. Martin Luther King lived by Bible and peace. Two different situations, and neither of them fuck with y'all. And black people cannot be racist. We cannot economically affect any race in this country. We don't have any economic power. We cannot suppress y'all. Y'all love to use the word that y'all created. It is your word. Hold that shit tight. It belongs to one race and one race only, white people. Can I be bigoted? Yes, I sure can. I can be discriminatory. I sure can. I can't be prejudiced and I can't be racist, but I can be bigoted and I can be discriminatory. And I'm going to tell you something, white people, whether y'all want to hear it or not, y'all will never be the victims in this story. Not when it comes to black folks, not when it comes to immigrants, not when it comes to Japanese Asians. Y'all will never be the victims in any story, because this was created by y'all by design. This is y'all creation. If y'all wanted this country to just belong to y'all, y'all should have never brought anybody else into this shit, and y'all should have found a spot where nobody was, like Antarctica. Y'all created this country the way y'all wanted it to be. So own your shit. Take it. The only people running the show right now is white folks. No one else is running this shit. Everything that's happening in this country right now is coming from the top. And it ain't black folks running it. We not suppressing nobody's voices. We are not telling people they don't have jobs anymore. We're not taking food out of nobody's mouth. We didn't redline. Okay? We didn't have Jim Crow laws. None of y'all was our maids or our mammies or our servants. Y'all weren't driving none of us around because that was the only job available. Y'all keep talking shit as if y'all are like the lowest. You are not a victim. I think that's going to be my next shirt. YT. People, you are not the victim. I think that's going to be one of my new shirts. Because y'all really do think by calling black people and people of color racist, it does something. It doesn't. Y'all are not the victim. You never will be. The only way y'all will become the victim is if y'all ever seen Planet of the Apes where shit switch. That's the only way you would be a victim. That's the only way you will be a victim. If the world just turned over on its fucking axis. That's the only way. Other than that, baby, own your superiority. Own that shit. Be proud of it. I don't know why y'all won't be proud of something y'all create. You know, Donald Trump sat there and said, we make everything. And he started listing shit in on that damn podium of what we've created, like phones, like the computer chip, and so on and so forth. And every fucking thing that he named, a black person invented. Everything he named at that podium, a black person invented. Y'all even take our shit and run with it. If we were such victims, what happened to Charlie? If we weren't such victims, the thing that happened to Charlie Kirk, which was fucked up, would not have a retaliation on black universities. If we weren't victims. My grandma always said, tell the truth, shame the devil. So I ain't gonna sit up here and lie to you. If we weren't victims in this fucked up system that y'all created, when Charlie Kirk was unalived, we would have not been the target. Because goddamn it, where the fuck that shit come from? How did we get in it? But like I said, people who support him, support Trump, support the Republican Party, are 9 times out of 10 white supremacists, KKK, Nazis, and they're looking for a reason. I'm going to make something else very clear. If y'all want a civil war, I don't think y'all have this shit planned out properly. I want y'all to think about this. When it's time to actually get out there and fight, it is going to be black people, people of color. Then it's going to be white people who are married to people of color and black people on this side. Then you got the LGBTQIA plus community on this side. Then you got immigrants on this side. And then it's going to be y'all. Because people are going to choose their color and their loved ones first. They're going to choose the color of their skin and their loved ones first, no matter if they voted Republican or not. When they say it's color against color, baby, you're going to be fucking lost. So don't start some shit that y'all ain't actually prepared to have. Talk that shit all you want, but keep it in small droves. Remember, y'all are not the majority in this country. Because when we all combine, like the melting pot as it should be, it's over. And we have never asked for any fight. Have y'all noticed that shit? People of color and black people have never asked to fight. We asked to vote, sign petitions. I have never heard the Democratic Party say we want war. Like, the fuck? We tired of fucking fighting. Just go out there and vote. You want your voice to be heard? Vote. As soon as Charlie Kirk was taken out, everybody on the right side wanted war. They want to fight. They want to put on their under eye makeup and throw on their fatigues and get out there. For what? It won't go the way you think it's going to go. So if you want to use your voice to keep your people in power, I suggest you take your ass out there and vote. And if you don't want these folks in power, I suggest you take your ass out there and vote, especially in California. Y'all have a vote coming up, okay? To gerrymander the fuck out of California, baby. So we can get these seats. And I would love for New York to do the same fucking thing along with Illinois, Minnesota, do it all. Please. So we can take some of this shit off of these mantles. So we can get some of this, like, we need to get the hatred out of the White House. I heard Barack speak on the incident of Charlie Kirk. And that man sat there and he took his time with his response. He didn't just blurt shit out. He wasn't just yapping. He made sure that he spoke words that weren't hate, that wasn't going to incite violence, that wasn't going to do any of that. He did it as a president should be. He said, nobody deserves what happened to Charlie Kirk. Nobody. And although I did not agree with the things that he said, no one deserved that. And right now, as a country, we do not need division. And what is being spoken through the White House is detrimental and dangerous to our democracy. And we should be coming together. That is a fucking president. That is a man that knows how to use his words. If you just gonna keep spreading more hate, that's all this country is gonna be about. That's it. It was nice to hear somebody that actually had that actually had thoughtful words to say instead of spewing hate and being angry. I miss that man. I watched a slideshow of him with babies and children at the White House, outside the White House. I was like, I remember when it was a little bit calm. I remember when there was some kind of joy. You don't even see children around Trump. The last kid that was around Trump was Elon's son. And you heard what he had to say. The last kid around Trump was Elon's son. And you know what he had to say. Forgot to tell y'all this. A pew-pew shot was fired into an Illinois Democratic state senator. State Senator Meg Lorraine Capel. Yes, somebody put a hot one in her house. They did arrest the suspect. Yeah, but that's not on national news. We worried about Jimmy Kimmel and his words, and we've had another political person attacked in their home. But nobody is saying shit about that. You don't even see that on the front news. Because it doesn't matter if it's somebody on the Democratic side. It only matters if it's on the right. Now, Democrats, they everybody matters to Democrats, whether they don't like you or not. But Republicans, they don't give a shit about you if you're not Republican. State Senator Megan Lorraine Capel of Illinois. You're not getting that shit. You're not getting that shit. You're not getting those that matter. That matters. If we're going to talk about political violence, that matters. On top of the person ramming into the FBI, was it FBI station or some shit? And he planted an American flag. Another white man. But hello? This is why the rhetoric needs to come down. This is why that rhetoric and that talking points from the top, from the damn White House needs to stop. Because it is affecting people at the bottom. It is affecting people at the bottom. It is becoming dangerous. When you start speaking like that, people take that into context. And people who are not wrapped too tight are going to go out and do some stupid shit. And 9 times out of 10, they're going to be this color. They're going to be this color. It's not, and I'm not blaming, I'm not placing blame. This is just facts. They can take them off the Department of Justice website, but this is just what the fuck it is. Y'all have a problem. Y'all don't know how to just use y'all words effectively, but not harmfully. It's getting out of control. It literally is getting out of control. And you know what? At this point, if y'all don't want to admit that, we've got real problems. Mahmoud Khalil will be deported. He's either going to be reported to Algeria or Syria. Mahmoud Khalil, Louisiana judge, said that he messed up on parts of his immigration paperwork and he's got to go. So Trump won. They was going to find something to deport him. They was going to find some reason to deport him. So he's gone. He's gone. I'm sorry, but he's about to be deported to whatever country they choose. And there's nothing else we can do about that. Parents, college is coming. Next year, this year, it's coming. If you have a child that has great grades and they're very intelligent and they want to go into medicine, Emory is now in Atlanta. Emory University in Atlanta is to become a tuition free for students whose families earn less than $200,000 a year. Get your babies ready. Okay? Starting in fall of 2026, Emory University will no longer charge tuition to students whose families make $200,000 or less. Okay? The new Emory Advantage Plus program will cover both incoming and current students who meet the income criteria. Every qualified student should be able to attend Emory without worrying about overwhelming costs or debt, she said. This is the president. Okay? So, if you have a child who wants to be in medicine and who's working their asses off and who is in Georgia or Alabama, I don't give a fuck where they at. Get them prepared. Go see what the qualifications is. Go see what the GPA is, the SATs. Get them prepared. That is full rides, basically. And I know a lot of families that could really benefit off of that pressure being taken off them, especially children, right? I wish that shit was around when I was in fucking college. I just looked at my goddamn student loans and I'm paying on 9%, 8% fucking taxes on them hoes. Interest rates. I'm not talking about taxes. I'm talking about interest rates on them bitches. Make me want to. I just, it just is. Now, we about to go through a little pipeline. I like to ask, I'm very like, how would you say, interested in what people have to say and interested in, no, I didn't want to go there. Go back to my primary. Hello. All right. So I was curious. So I asked ChatGPT a question, and I usually just use it for questions because I don't really care about anything else. I like to know questions. I like to gather everything at one time if I really want to understand something. I asked him, as I speak right now, in the United States, so much is going on when it comes to the Trump administration. Do you feel like, with all honesty, we are on the brink of fascism? He said, this is a real heavy question. Whether the U.S. is on the brink of fascism depends on the defines fascism and how closely current conditions line up with. Political scientists usually look at markers. And I want y'all to tell me if y'all see any of these markers popping out. Authoritarian leadership, one person or a small group concentrating power. Dismissing institutional checks like court, media, and legislators. So far, our media definitely has been shut down. We've had judges arrested and legislators have been shut down as well. I do see a consolidation of power happening. And Trump has asked for more power from the Supreme Court. I have looked at that, but I ain't go deep into it, and I need to. Yes, Lord twos. Undermining democracy, attacking elections, spreading distrust in voting, refusing to accept results. We've all seen that shit. So that's 2. 3, targeting enemies, blaming minorities, immigrants, political opponents, or the press for national problems. Ooh, there's 4. We up through there, we up through there, we up through there. There's 4. We up through there. I don't know why I'm happy, but I'm just, the energy of the C4 is kicking in. Erosion of rule of law. Come here, because you can't stop moving around. You're making my nerves bad. Erosion of the rule of law. Laws being applied selectively, especially to protect allies and punish rivals. Freedom of speech. Jimmy losing his job. People losing their jobs all over the country. Antifa being now labeled as a T group while taking white supremacists off of the T group. That's 5. 6, militarizing and nationalism, glorifying force, police, or military coupled with us versus them nationalism. Well, if we're going to go by the definition of political scientists, we are up in there now. We there. We are there. We are at the fascism state. Now, he says right now in the U.S., many experts warn that some of these boxes are being checked. Efforts to delegitimize elections, increasing extreme rhetoric against political opponents, and attempts to expand executive power are the expense of checks and balances. At the same time, others argue a strong institution, independent courts, state-level election systems, civil society, and free press are all holding the line. It will all be up to us at the end of the day. If we allow this shit to happen, it is up to us. Nobody else. If we don't hold the line, we're going to be fucked. I want y'all to think about it. It is more of us than it is of them. And using our voices, voting is important. Black folks, we are not out in the streets, but everybody else go do y'all job. We stay inside because they looking for us to come outside. And they're pushing our buttons at every point to get us to move. And although I am pissed, although I may cry, I know I'm not finna do that call. I'm not gonna do the call. I got too many people watching me. I got too many eyes on me as far as my people. So I'm not gonna do that call, even though it fucking hurts to watch shit happen. It is hurting me. It makes me so mad that we are in this place. I saw so much hope in her policies. And I think I have been feeling the sting and the exhausted. I'm exhausted. I've taken more breaks from doing this shit than I've ever done before because it is just so much. And it's like if y'all would have just listened, if you wouldn't have just thought about yourself and thought of everybody as a collective group, if we actually would have been what America claims we are, a melting pot, freedom of religion, freedom of speech, the right of the American dream, if we actually live by the words that were created to bring this false narrative to the world to make it seem like we were great, we would actually be fucking great. It is tiring watching this shit happen. It is. So I asked ChatGPT to give me classic traits of fascism and regimes and compare them to Donald Trump. He gave them to me. Historical fascism. Mussolini and Hitler presented themselves as strong men who alone could save the nation. Their images dominated propaganda. Trump's got fucking posters of him being put in every place possible. There was just a statue in his honor placed on the U.S. Capitol. He's removed previous presidents out of the White House and replaced them with himself. The idolization is happening. U.S. today, Trump has cultivated an only I can fix it persona. His supporters often show loyalty to him personally rather than to party or constitution. His rallies, his slogans, and his brandings mirror aspects and personality cults. Y'all want to be mad? Be mad at ChatGPT because this is his results. And I call him a him. I don't call it a her. Attack on democratic institutions. Historical fascism. Fascists dismantle parliaments, censor press, and centralize power quickly after rising. How long he's been in office? Only 9 months. Not even 9 complete months. And we are already fucking there. Now, U.S. today, there is no full dismantle yet, but there are ongoing efforts to weaken elections, courts, and the press. The 2020 election denialism of January the 6th and continued claims that the future elections may be rigged are signs of erosion. So it's been growing since Trump lost. It has been growing since he lost. Scapegoating and division. Historical fascism. Fascists built unity by defining enemies as Jews, communists, immigrants, degenerates, black, minorities, LGBTQIA. U.S. today, rhetoric often blames immigrants, racial minorities, political opponents, and or the deep state for national problems. This us versus them framing is very similar to early fascist tactics. And I'll be something very clear. In YouTube, it's nothing but it's a lot of racists on my page on YouTube. A lot of racist men who, they know they're on top. So they're just going to laugh and giggle. So if y'all don't mind jumping over there and countering some of that shit, I wouldn't mind. U.S. Use of violence and threats. Historical fascism. Parliament groups, black shirts in Italy, brown shirts in Germany, enforce ideology with street violence. U.S. today, we don't see official preliminary wings, but militia groups, Proud Boys, and others act violently in Trump's name, such as the Nazis, white Christian nationalism, and MAGA. January 6th is the closest parallel to fascist street violence. The difference, the U.S. state hasn't fully endorsed or observed these groups yet because they pulled it off the DOJ. They pulled it off the DOJ so it would not be recognizable. Because if the DOJ don't have them as a problem, then it's not a problem. Nationalism and myth. Historical fascism. Make Italy great again. Yes, that was actually a fucking thing back then. Germany first. Narratives tied to glorious past and rebirth myth. The U.S. today. Make America great again. It's almost word for word in this mode. It appeals to the myth of stronger and purer past that must be restored. We always do that. Make America Great Again was not about anything but taking us back. And he's been subtracting very well and very quickly. He's been dismantling shit left and right. Control of law and justice. Historical fascism. Courts will sideline legal systems bent to the leader's will. The U.S. today, courts still resist. Trump has lost many cases, but there are ongoing attempts to purge non-loyal judges, weaken oversight, and use the DOJ powers against enemies while shielding allies. It's not a total control yet, but they're pushing there. And we've seen that happen when it comes to immigration. They fired judges in immigration and they replaced them with their own judges that come from the DOJ that will push the immigration process quicker. They've done that. They've gone after judges, they've gone after lawyers who go against Trump saying, oh, they have mortgage fraud. You notice how everybody he don't like that's in the political spectrum automatically gets hit with mortgage fraud? That's his thing. Mortgage fraud is his shit. I want to know how you going to be mad at people with mortgage fraud and your ass was convicted several times having to do with stuffing your your bank, deflating your assets, inflating them when needing so. Hey, I thought you'd be happy. Economic and corporations, historical fascism. Corporations and the state work hand in hand. Unions are crushed. Palantir, Apple, Google, Amazon, CBS, ABC, Fox News. They're all part of corporations. U.S. today, big businesses isn't fully co-opted by the government, but there are pressures, loyalty tests pushing woke companies. It's not a full fascist corporation, but it echoes exist. The bottom line, the U.S. today isn't a carbon copy of 1930s Italy or Germany, but there are many warning signs that are present. Cult of personality, scapegoating, attacks on democracy, normalizing violence, and the nationalist myth-making. The difference is that American institutions, courts, states, media, and civil groups are still resisting, whereas Europe in the 1930s, they crumbled much faster. If we don't keep speaking, if we don't keep pushing against this shit, we're going to be like Germany. We're going to be like Europe. And everybody that's not white, male, cis, and rich are going to suffer. I cannot believe that we went from having possibly free health care, having corporations back out of buying all of the houses, having free college, getting rid of our student loan debt, getting rid of our medical debt. I cannot believe we went from that to this shit. I cannot believe we went from that dream to this fucking hell. All because y'all couldn't get out y'all own fucking way. Because y'all couldn't dare. It was bad enough to be a black man. Y'all couldn't dare see a black woman do this shit. I am so exhausted. And I just report the news. And for everybody that sends me death threats in my DMs, baby, I'm going to let you know something right now. Both sides of my family is military. I have an uncle who is military, Marine, black ops. Play with me if you want to. And he was discharged because he has mental instabilities. Fuck with me if you want to. I got one side of family that goes to jail on the regular. So, even if y'all do try to hurt me, there will be retaliation. Now, I hope y'all threats just stay online. Talk all you want. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. I laugh at y'all. And I just report the news. I haven't really been caring about reporting y'all to the FBI or some shit because I know a lot of y'all are just talking. But save that energy for something important. Threatening me is not going to help the situation. Threatening to unalive me or to grape me or to hang me is not going to change the situation that we are in. It is not going to change the situation that we are in because right behind me, there are other voices. I'm not the only one. There are a lot of people, and it's just like it's going to keep growing as shit gets worse in this country. It's going to keep growing. Our voices are going to get bigger. And all I'm doing is reporting what is out there. That's it. I'm just making people aware, and that threatens y'all. Y'all need to go pray. Y'all say y'all love God so much, but y'all carry so much hatred in y'all heart. And I don't hate anybody. I have disdain for people. I may not trust you, and it doesn't mean I hate you. I may not actively want you around me, but that doesn't mean I hate you. Y'all have real hate in y'all heart. And I don't know how y'all can be the children of Christ and y'all can promote God so much. And yet y'all threaten people's lives on a regular basis. Do y'all actually believe that that is God-like? Do y'all actually think God would approve of that shit? I don't think God would approve you threatening anyone's life because you don't like what they say. See, the thing is, black folks have never targeted anybody, no matter how much hate they have said, no matter how much hate they have spread about us. And I know y'all expected it to be a person of color that did what they did to Charlie Kirk, but it wasn't us. Because we know the repercussions of us doing some shit like that. We know the repercussions. That's why it's never going to be one of us. That is why it's never going to be one of us, because we already know that the retaliation is not just going to be on the person that did it. It's going to be on our whole race of people in this country. We know that shit. We are aware of it. Our history shows it. Even when we don't do anything wrong, y'all unalive us. Y'all hang us. Y'all set our schools on fire. Y'all BOMB our churches. Y'all will set fires to our communities. Y'all will flood our homes. We're not stupid. We know what retaliation will mean to y'all if one of us stepped out of line and did that shit. And that's why it will never be us doing that shit. And y'all will never have to ask that question. And the day you have to ask that question is the day that black people have tipped. And we are at our last straw. But we don't have to do that because y'all do it yourselves. We don't have to do it. We are not the violent ones in this country. We have our own shit and our own problem, just like every fucking demographic in this fucking world. Everybody has infighting. But when it comes to targeting people and targeting politicians and directly just going out and hurting people, that ain't us. It's usually personal as fuck. And I don't condemn that shit either. But I'd be damned if y'all gonna put that on us. Even the fucking governor of Utah was praying it was a person of color. He was hoping it wasn't one of them, one of y'all. He was praying. Like, that is insane. If y'all really are people of God, no matter if you hate me or not, you would not wish death upon anyone. I gotta go. I gotta go watch, like, I don't know. I'll put on Coco Melon or some shit. I got a dentist appointment. Y'all have a good day. Stay blessed. Say something nice to somebody today. Just spread some love. As much hate as we got going on in this goddamn world, just tell somebody that you love them or they look nice. Just be good to each other, just to counter the bullshit we got going on. Just try. Because if we don't, We all gonna go down, and everybody's gonna go down together. Or not gonna go down separately. If one person falls, we are all going to fall because we are all in the same place. All right, y'all. Stay blessed. Talk to y'all later. Bye, peoples. If I could actually exit. There we go. And YouTube, some of y'all need therapy. A lot of y'all need some fucking therapy and some fucking medication. Because the hate that y'all have, God, that shit needs to be studied.